Hey there, my name is Vincent A. Lanci. Let's read together. Mental Health Week. Monday morning. It is that time of year. On the cusp of summer break, all of the students have grand plans for their time away from the classroom. Last summer break was abnormal, and the students did not have much to celebrate. The 2020 global COVID pandemic swept across the world, but as restrictions have been lifted, the students are anxious to make up for lost time. Before Never Give Up School releases its students for summer, there is an event that Mr. Lanci's students have the opportunity to attend. I can't wait for summer break, but I'm so excited for mental health break, James texts to Grayson. What do you think Mr. Lanci has planned for us? Mr. Lanci has been talking about this week all year long. I am not sure what he has in store for us, but I know we are going to have a lot of fun and learn a lot about mental health. Grayson responds as he is putting on his pajamas. I have a friend who was in Mr. Lanci's 5th grade class last year, and he said something happens with magic. He said whatever happened is a secret he can't share, but I will understand what he means after the week is over. See you tomorrow, James. The 2021-2022 school calendar is on its last page. What a memorable year it has been. The students have learned a lot, had a lot of fun, and made lifelong friends over the course of the year. The students are experiencing many emotions. While the students are excited that it is the final week of school, Mr. Lanci, however, is the opposite. He loves coming to school each day and helping his students prepare for their futures. Each year, Mr. Lanci finishes his curriculum a week early to reward his students with an unforgettable last week before summer. Mental Health Week involves learning 2 things: all things mental health and the school's biggest secret. The magic track is a myth to most, but not to those who have had Mr. Lanci as a teacher. Mr. Lanci has spent all weekend preparing for the last week of school with the help of school security guard Stump. He aims to leave his students with one memory they will never forget, not only because it was fun, but because they were introduced to the world of mental health. The importance of mental health has always been overlooked and has a stigma attached to it. Now, more than ever, Mr. Lanci wants to help his students thrive again after the 2020 global COVID pandemic. After this week, the students will be equipped with the tools and strategies needed to live a healthy and fulfilling life. He could not sleep all night due to pure excitement and arrived at school 2 hours early on the final Monday of the school year. Even after preparing for Mental Health Week all weekend, he still had 4 boxes to unpack from his car. He grabbed 2 and began walking to his classroom. Stump, sitting at the entrance of the parking lot, greets Mr. Lanci at the door. Do you think your students are ready for Mental Health Week? Stump, holding the door for Mr. Lanci, smiles as Mr. Lanci says, the students are definitely looking forward to it. It is going to be a magical week. 2020 was a year that affected all of our mental health, and this week will help them feel their best again. Thank you for helping me set up. As Mr. Lanci puts his key into the classroom door, he hears someone's voice in the distance. Connor, walking as fast as he can down the hallway, emphatically yells, It is Mental Health Week! As the two enter the classroom, Mr. Lanci stops to glance around the room. He is incredibly proud of all that his students have accomplished over the year. For a moment, Connor notices him just smiling as he looks at their end-of-year projects. Moments after entering the classroom, a second student has arrived early too. Paul, it is great to see you looking forward to Mental Health Week. Would you like to help Connor and I bring in the final 2 boxes from the car? Mr. Lanci and his 2 students make a right out of the classroom and walk through the double doors to the parking lot. Stump gives high fives to both students as they walk past. In a cheerful mood, Mr. Lanci glances over at his students and says, Paul, did you know we are improving our mental health right now? How are we improving our mental health? We are just walking, replies Paul. Exactly, Paul. We will talk more about this during the week, but nature, exercise, and socializing can all improve our mental health. As Mr. Lanci finishes previewing components of our mental health, he unlocks his car. Connor notices the boxes are labeled Thursday and Friday. He curiously asks, What's in these boxes, Mr. Lanci? Mr. Lanci smiles and says, I can't tell you until Thursday and Friday, Connor. This is going to be an unforgettable week. Connor and Paul grab a box while Mr. Lanci helps Miss Amarillo carry the object she is holding. She is the teacher in the classroom next door and arrived at school at the same time. Stump, holding the door open, smiles in joy as he is excited for the students to experience Mental Health Week. Entering the classroom, the students place the 2 boxes next to Mr. Lanci's desk. Connor, how did getting some fresh air and taking a walk make you feel? Asks Mr. Lanci. I feel relaxed and ready to tackle the day, Mr. Lanci, Connor enthusiastically replies. As the 2 students sit down at their desks, the rest of the students start entering the classroom. Mr. Lanci feels like a child on the morning of a holiday. He is eager for his entire class to arrive so he can introduce the first day of this week-long adventure. At the end of each school year, Mr. Lanci takes his students on a 5-day adventure to teach them about why mental health is important. When he was in college, he suffered a brain injury called a traumatic brain injury, or TBI. A TBI is when damage to your brain changes the way it works. This injury affects everyone differently with symptoms that can range from mild to severe. Ever since he began recovering from this injury and started teaching, he makes sure to teach his students about their brain's health, or mental health. As Mr. Lanci prepares to take attendance, he notices the children expressing themselves uniquely and in a fun way. He encouraged his students to wear clothes that make them happy for their last week together. One of the many ways to improve our mental health is to do things that make us happy, so it only felt right. Austin and Bryson wore their Yankee hats to school, while Molly and Charlotte have their bathing suits on as they are headed to the beach after school. Mr. Lanci continues to smile and glance around the room. He believes that it is time to take attendance. This is the largest class Mr. Lanci has ever had. Never Give Up School lost a lot of teachers for different reasons related to the 2020 global COVID pandemic. Some of the remaining teachers were upset about a larger class size, but not Mr. Lanci. He relished the opportunity to teach additional students because even more children would be introduced to the world of mental health. Ever since he began teaching at Never Give Up School, his average class size had been 23 students each year. Post-pandemic, he proudly has 37 students enrolled in his class for the 2021-2022 school year. As Mr. Lanci finishes cleaning off his glasses, he looks at the class and begins, "Please stand up and do one jumping jack after I call out your name." Brianna, Connor, Lily Mae, Lily Rose, James, Grayson, Jada Joy, Sophia, Olivia, Jackson, Shane, Riley, Ellie, Cameron, Bryson, Moses, Paige. Paige? Is Paige here? I spoke to Paige last night. She went to the Raiders game with her mom yesterday and will not be back until tonight, says Gab. Nicole added, "I wish Paige were here today." "We all do," Mr. Lanci continues. "Make sure to tell her all about how today goes. Please, do your jumping jacks, Gab and Nicole." Austin, Molly, Paul, Charlotte, Anthony, Jeff, Jill, Pete, Samantha, Zach, Mark, Dana, Christina, Michael, Dakota, Luke, Amanda, and Matthew. Mr. Dancy leaves his desk and walks to the front of the classroom to introduce today's lesson. Today is the day! It is finally the Monday of Mental Health Week, and I have been looking forward to this day for 2 years. Last year was the first year since I started teaching that my students did not get to experience this adventure because of the 2020 global COVID pandemic. It is great to see everyone physically healthy. Before we begin our final week, I have a few questions for all of you. When was the last time you went to the doctor to get a checkup? Lily Mae, who always participates in class, is the first to answer. I went the day before Halloween. I went the day before school started, Anthony added. Mr. Lanci addresses the class while pointing to his teeth. When was the last time you went to the dentist? He points to Shane and Jill, both raising their hands. Jill quickly answers first. I went during the holiday break last year with my brother. Shane followed her answer with, right near my birthday. Mr. Lanci loves how his students are taking turns contributing, even though it is still early in the day. Most days, his students are still tired until an hour or two passes. Not for Mental Health Week, though. He adds, we all have a physical health. We go to the doctor for checkups and when we are sick. We all have a dental health. We go to the dentist for checkups and for teeth problems. We also have a mental health. Mr. Lanci notices Riley ready to participate with her hand up. What is mental health? This is how healthy our brain and mind are. Our mental health affects how we feel, think, and act each day, says Mr. Lanci. He continues, when something does not feel normal, we always get checked, right? His students simultaneously nod their heads up and down. Mr. Lanci leaves the front of the room and begins walking around the classroom. The same needs to go for our mental health. Maybe thinking about it like this will help. When we break a bone in our bodies, we take time to heal. We also need to take time to heal when we feel something is not normal with our mental health. If we experience mental health problems, our behavior, mood, and thinking can change. If you feel there may be a problem with your mental health, do not worry. Mental health challenges are common, and there are a lot of ways to fully recover. Never be afraid to speak to an adult you trust about how you are feeling, because you can get the help you need. You will learn how to live a happy and healthy life, all about mental health, ways to take care of it and improve it, all during Mental Health Week. Please stand up and form a single file line in alphabetical order. We are heading to the magic track. Now it is time for spot check number 1. What should you do if you are not feeling mentally healthy? Please think to yourself. Please write down in the book under spot check number 1. I would love to hear some of your answers. Please comment in the comments. Tell me what you think. I would love to hear from you. Sophia whispers to Olivia in line, "I thought the magic track was fake." Olivia tilts her head towards Sophia and whispers back, "I had a feeling it was real." Sophia whispers to Olivia in line, "I thought the magic track was fake." Olivia tilts her head towards Sophia and whispers back, "I had a feeling it was real." The whole school has heard of Mental Health Week. As Mr. Lanci's class walks through the halls, students in other classrooms smile and wave, wishing they could join in on the activities. The students follow Mr. Lanci down the hallway towards the cafeteria. He suddenly stops at the cafeteria doors. He cracks the doors open slowly to make sure no one is still eating morning breakfast. Mr. Lanci smiles at the students and says, "The coast is clear!" He holds the door open for his students to enter the cafeteria and says, "Please stay in a single file line and stand next to the lunch table in front of the wall with the school flag hanging down." Mr. Lanci follows the final student into the cafeteria to the lunch table with his classmates. Stump, following Mr. Lanci's class, locks the cafeteria doors behind them. Mr. Lanci has given out 5 clues during the school year on what to expect during Mental Health Week. By the end of the week, his students will finally understand what each of the 5 clues mean. Can James, Connor, Grayson, Brianna, and Jada Joy please step forward? Did each of you bring your clue to school today? Mr. Lanci added. All at once, the students shake their heads up and down. Please read your clues to the class. The students decide to read the clues in alphabetical order. Brianna looks around at her classmates and delivers the first clue. There is a health besides physical health. Six guests will visit us during our last week of school. Magic is real. There is more than one track at our school. We will leave school without leaving school 5 times during our last week of school. After Jada Joy delivers the final clue, Mr. Lanci walks to the front of the lunch table and asks for 3 volunteers to come to the front. Jackson, Cameron, and Ellie quickly volunteered. Class, please walk 10 steps to the left of the lunch table. Jackson, Camera, Ellie, and I need to move this table to the right of the school flag on the wall. Mark and Christina look at each other in confusion. Once the table is moved, Jackson jokingly whispers to Cameron, "That was easy." Mr. Lanci takes down the school flag and folds it neatly on the neighboring table. The students all point at the wall. There is a hidden door labeled storage closet behind where the flag was. Mr. Lanci props the door to stay open. As Mr. Lanci looks around at his students, he notices all of them have their jaws dropped. They are all surprised while also feeling puzzled and excited. I know this is a lot to take in. Enjoy the moment. The magic track is a secret you are now trusted to keep. There are 5 stations at the track. You will find out what makes the track magical at each station you go to, Mr. Lanci thrillingly adds. In alphabetical order, form a line at the storage closet. When it is your turn to stand in front of the storage closet, clap 3 times and the door will open for 1 person at a time. Remember to hurry. The door only stays open for 5 seconds at a time. When you walk through, please stand in a circle by the water fountain that is in the shape of a brain. This is Mental Health Week, after all, instructs Mr. Lanci. It is now time for the first 2 learning checkpoints. Learning checkpoint number 1. Please think to yourself and write down in the book. Learning checkpoint number 1. Describe what mental health means to you. Please share with me in the comments below. I would love to hear what you think. Learning checkpoint number 2. Describe the shirt you would wear during Mental Health Week and why you would choose to wear it. I would love to hear which shirt you would choose. Please comment in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you for tuning in to Monday morning in Mental Health Week. Stay tuned for more content here on this YouTube channel.